Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I am here to go over, oh my God, I have Bell Collective up and it's not time for Bell Collective. It's time for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I apologize, you all. I want to review Bell Collective, but I'm still 2 episodes behind. And the football game comes on tonight, and you all know I love my fantasy football, so I'm probably going to watch the game tonight. Bell Collective might be here Wednesday. I apologize. But I did watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. I enjoyed the Huntsville foolishness. So let's get right into it. I hope you all had a great day at work today. I know I'm a little bit early. I usually do all my lives at 6 or 7. But I said when I get off work today, when I get in the house and I wash this makeup off, it's a wrap. So I had to pull it up to 5 because I wasn't about to sit around in full glam for too long. I'm ready to put my pajamas on, get comfortable, watch a little bit of football, and get right back to work tomorrow. So I hope you all enjoyed your day. And if you're on the rewatch, get in the comments and let me know what you thought about the episode. And while I'm already doing announcements, go ahead and get this out the way in the beginning. Like this video, please, and thank you. And if it's your first time with your girl Angie at Kiss My Cheeks TV, go ahead and hit subscribe. Your girl is on. My goal is to get to 1,000 by the end of this year. It can happen. I'm not going to say anything is impossible. It can happen. So if you enjoy the content, hit subscribe. Okay. Huntsville. Let's get right into it. We open up the show. Melody is at some kind of event. I didn't take no notes, y'all. So if I'm out of order, y'all understand. She has some kind of event. I believe it's a hosting event. Congratulations, Melody. She does really good things. And y'all already know I confuse her name. I will say Melanie and Melody all video, all season, forever. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Martel brings these children up to the event. Martel, we see you and we see all the way through you. You only brought those children up to the event on camera so you can have some kind of video evidence of, oh, look at me. I'm bringing the kids to support Mel, even though Mel wouldn't bring the kids to support me. Let me tell you something. When I'm at work and it's your week to have the kids, it's your week to have the kids. Did I ask you to bring the kids up there to support me? No. So obviously I didn't need their support. I'm sure every event that Melody wants those children at, she makes sure it's her week to have them, or she will make sure to ask. But she didn't ask you, so you wasn't really doing her no favors. But moving on, it was a nice gesture. It was a very awkward encounter. Martel and Melody confused me because off the show, they have periods where they can talk to each other. Even on the show, they can communicate. And it seemed like right now they must be in a bad place where they like, fuck you. You know, I'm trying not to curse as much on videos as well. I'll get there. But it just was very awkward. And Martel excused himself. Thank you. Please go. I ain't asked you to be here no way. All right. So Melody mom comes in and let's just get Martel and his mama on out the way because there was another scene where Martel was in the car with his mama picking up the kids from school and they had to talk about the relationship between Melody's mother, and Martel's mother. And they have revisionist history, which I'm so happy the OWN network has the clips because they don't understand why Mel not talking to Mama Martel, because Mel was like, I ain't talked to that lady since 2021. We about to be in 2023, so that's a long time. She ain't talked to this lady because she was talking about her parenting. They were talking about her mama, and they both sitting up here like, we ain't never said nothing about them. We don't know why she ain't talking to us. But we have the clip, and I'm so happy they have the clip because my memory not that good as well. But I do recall the conversation after they showed the clip of Mama Martel talking about Melody about to kill my son. She working him to the bone. She working him. She had you working too much. And I'm like, that's the least he can do if she passed the test. Hell, She had to study and get the license. At least he can go out and build the house. Shit. What you want your son to do? Lay up and be taken care of by a woman? He's supposed to work. I be trying to rock with Mama Martel because I have a son, an only son, my only child. And I might spoil his ass a little bit too, but I ain't that delusional. Like, I know how to call people out on they fuck shit, and I know how to raise. I don't know how to raise a man, but I do know the type of man I want my son to be, and I'm trying to raise him in that way, if that makes sense. And I ain't never raising no man to be like, ooh, you working too hard. Your wife laid up and have all these kids and she working you to death. That's what you're supposed to do, especially in y'all backward ass Alabama ways. Sorry to the people in Alabama. I went to college in Alabama. My son's father is from Alabama. I know a little bit about them ways. And if you're a feminist, independent type of woman, Alabama might not be the place to find your man. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna leave that there and move on because that's just my opinion. I'm sure there's plenty of strong, independent women in Alabama that have secure men that don't act like none of the people on this show. But let's move on from that. So hopefully Melody and Mama Martel and Mama Van have a conversation and they could squash it, because we did see plenty of scenes over the years where they all had a great relationship. And it's just sad divorce is ruining the family dynamic, especially between the moms when it shouldn't be. Mama Martel, mind your business. That's what you need to do. Check your son, let him know. Me and Mel wouldn't be falling out right now if you didn't fuck up. You check your son and move on, or just mind your own business and you wouldn't even be caught in the crossfires. But let's move on from them. Let's get on to this retreat, because I got a little bit to say about the retreat. This is not going to be long, y'all, because the first episode was kind of, let me introduce you back, put your foot back in the water. We ain't going to jump right in. I'm sure to pick up and be more exciting, but this wasn't too much excitement. We get to the retreat. Kimmy, Maurice there first. They issue Kimmy not giving up enough sex. I don't even want to address that. It seems fake to me. When I look at Kimmy and Maurice, they seem like a very sensual, sexual couple. Kimmy oozes sex appeal. I don't see her denying her husband any kind of sex. And I don't see Kimmy as somebody who only wanted once a week, once every 2 weeks. So forget Maurice and what he's talking about. Then we get over to the Whitlows. The Whitlows want to have a baby but don't want to pull her panties to the side. I believe everything about the Whitlows is fake. I watch a lot of YouTube. Some YouTubers feel like they're in a fake marriage where their marriage is fake, like they really don't love each other. I don't think that. I think they love each other, and I think they have a good, boring marriage. And I was on a live with some of my Kamisha Reviews cruise people, and somebody in the comments in that live was like, a boring marriage is the goal. We don't need all this excitement with a side piece, a side baby, disrespect, male chauvinism. We a good, nice, loving, boring marriage is a goal. I don't need all the drama in my marriage, and I'm so happy I don't have all the drama. Me and my husband are very boring. Well, he boring. I'm a little bit exciting. Moving on. So I don't feel that their marriage is fake. I feel like their storyline is fake. I feel like they think in order for me to be on this successful show, I gotta bring up something, some kind of forget the people of next door mowing their grass. I gotta come up with some kind of problem to say I have on this show so we could be somewhat entertaining, but it's not entertaining because it doesn't make sense. The wife is begging for a baby and the husband is begging for the sex. They don't go together because you got to have the sex to get the baby. And y'all only been married for a year. Now, I'm only going to speak from my personal experience, but that first year of marriage, it ain't nothing but sex. You just enjoying the bliss of the new love. You got to get to around maybe year 3 when it starts to get routine and you gotta spice it up and this, you might get into a boring rut or two around maybe year 3. But the first 2 years of marriage, you having all the sex, you're having all the fun. So I just don't believe their storyline. And I feel like you two should just be happy and boring off the show. Don't let this show fuck your marriage up. But anyway, so who left? Tisha and Marceau, they called him on the phone. They talking about they nanny is late. And I call bullshit. Because one of them, the oldest one in high school, you telling me the high schooler can't sit in the house with, it ain't even like the younger ones are real little with some middle schoolers and maybe a fifth grader and they can't sit still for an hour till the nanny get there. Now I know you don't want them to spend the night, because this was an overnight trip by themselves. And I'm sure the nanny wasn't nobody but Mama Wanda. Anyway, Tisha, everybody on this show lies. It's hard to review because everything I look at, I'm like, this shit is fake. But it's a mess, and I'm here for the mess. So let's talk about it. So anyway, about time Tisha get there, she done said her friend from college or high school done died, and RIP, condolences, all of that. I don't want to say nothing bad about a death, but it just, I'm gonna take that as face value because I just don't believe. I know people will lie about anything, but I don't think Tisha would lie about this. It just seemed like a very unfortunate coincidence that she happened to be late and her friend died all in the same car ride. But let's move on. Let's move on because I don't want to be shady about it. So while we in the counseling session, Dr. Francis, and I do like Dr. Francis, but I don't think he would be the therapist for me. Because I don't agree with a lot of what he said about work. Now I understood. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm gonna tell you where I disagree, and y'all can check me in the comments. I don't care. Tiffany got a fake phone call because I don't believe she got a phone call for work. Number one, we don't even know what Tiffany does. We know she either fired or quit the chamber. But what you doing now? I don't think she's that busy. If we listen to Melody, Tiffany sounds like someone who finds jobs for people, like a recruiter. Recruiters can schedule phone calls, interviews, whatever they got to do. It's all scheduled. So you could have scheduled your working day around this therapy retreat. Everybody on this show is hella busy, have hella jobs. It's known. If they could schedule it, Tiffany could schedule it. And it ain't like is it Keller Williams? I used to go through a lot of different temp agencies when I first got into accounting, when I first graduated. And that's kind of how I got my foot in the door with a lot of big corporations. But she ain't Keller Williams or no shit like that, where she got all these multi-billion-dollar clients. No shade to Tiffany. I just don't feel like she had no work call because when Lewis went back there to check on her, she wasn't on the phone. She talking about you checking emails. So you just really was sitting back there so you and Lewis could have this conversation and have this point of therapy of, oh, my wife works so much. You was back there scrolling TikTok. You can't tell me no different. But Lewis and Tiffany want to play in their marriage. Let's play. So Dr. Francis says, y'all ain't in no commitment. Work comes second. This relationship comes first. Now, I probably could understand where he's coming from, but to me, work comes first. Because without no job, without no bills, it ain't going to be no relationship because money is the number one root of divorce, finance. So we got to work. Now, her scheduling, if we're going to believe she was really on the call, is the issue, but not work. And it ain't that much damn recruiting in the world. Trust me, those recruiter companies close at 5. It ain't that much recruiting in the world for Tiffany to be working 18 to 20 hours a day and don't have no time for her husband. I just don't believe it. Unless she got another job I don't know about. Because I done been to plenty of recruiters. By 4 o'clock, the office is closed. At a certain time, these corporations that you're finding interviews for, they quit interviewing around 2 or 3. But okay, Tiffany need 18 hours a day to find you a job. Let's move on. So Dr. Francis was really coming down on Tiffany, and I did not agree. It could just be that I look at this show and it's very chauvinistic to me, that I feel like everybody wants a woman to be in her place. And like, especially that exercise with tying the legs together and letting your husband lead. And we was walking okay when I was leading, but when you tried to lead, we started to stumbling. I don't know. I feel like I'm just not in agreement. And what works for you works for you. Some people thrive in a submissive situation. Some people value that. Some people like me, that word makes my skin crawl. I cringe when I hear submission because it's just not me. It's not me. It's not me. I feel like we make every decision in my household together. There's never a time where my husband is telling me what we're doing. You better be asking, because if you, it could just be me. But if you tell me something to do, and I got in trouble for this all the time growing up, I'm doing the opposite because it's a part of me that feel like you can't tell me nothing. Now I have gotten better, but when it comes to my marriage, I'm not interested in anything where someone is more dominant over the other, where I have to be led, I have to be told, I have to submit. If I got to do any of that, I'm not interested. So when I hear Dr. Francis give his advice, a lot of it comes from that place for me. And so maybe that's why I can't receive it. I can't. Because I remember when I first got married, we went to couples counseling, and I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want to shade nobody in case y'all know them. But we went to couples counseling, and that was like the biggest red flag for our counselor. They was like, "You too independent to get married. You don't know how to follow. You don't know how to let your husband lead." And I'm like, if that's the kind of marriage that this is gonna be, it's not gonna work. You're right. I'm way too independent to be sitting back and be told what to do and be sitting in the house cooking and cleaning. But let's move on from these people. And this Dr. Francis, I think you hit the nail on the head a lot of the times, but I also think your therapy comes from a place that I can't receive. And that's all I'm going to say. Let's move on. Melody, go talk to, well, I already met, we already talked about the mama. So we could fast forward Melody talking to Stormy. Later on at therapy, they have another dinner. Everyone is there, all the Scotts, the Whitlows. And at this dinner, I appreciate Kimmy pointing out to the Whitlows, you all love to give advice, but you can't receive it. And I'm going to say this one more time for the people in the back on my opinion. The Whitlows cannot receive the advice that you all are giving because their story is fake. They don't have the issues that they're portraying that they have. So it's hard for them to receive something because they ain't that good of an actor. So they looking at y'all like, bitch, ain't nothing wrong with my marriage, something wrong with y'all, but y'all acting like it is. I don't understand why we can't have that one couple that has a good marriage that we can see on television. Like, yeah, we already got Tisha and Marceau and they mess, and you know her family and they mess. We already got all the drama a show could need from Melody and Martel. Kimmy and Maurice was that couple of just a good couple to watch and be like, oh, they have such a good relationship. We like them. But now Maurice starting to come up with some fuck shit. Why can't we have just one good, boring, loving couple, not screaming that they marriage better than everybody's because they've been married longer or they doing this or that, but just something that we could view and come up with the opinion of our own. I could tell you right now, Carlos, Tiffany and Lewis aren't it. They just aren't it. They aren't hitting, they aren't entertaining, and I feel like they're fraudulent, which makes me dislike them even more. Can we get the original Kimmy and Maurice back? Because I really love them. I really did. But that's it. That I ain't gonna get on here talking too much. Like I said, I am tired. Work has been kicking my ass. I'm getting ready to start Family or Fiance after this. That's gonna be a good 5 minutes because that wasn't worth reviewing either. But I like consistency on my channel, and I'm striving for 1,000. So I got to put my face out there. I can't just come Friday and Sunday nights. I got to start doing things more often. So your girl will be more active with her YouTube. I am going to get over my shyness and start up a few more Twitter spaces. I said I was going to get into the Twitter spaces when Potomac comes back because I feel like I'm big brothered out. Like I don't care to talk about Big Brother no more. I'm ready. Come on, Survivor. Come on, Potomac. I'm big brothered out. Go Taylor. And that's it. But again, you all like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely get in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this week. I feel like we'll have more to talk about as the season prolongs as we keep going. But it was just a good intro. Put my toe back into the Huntsville water. That's it. Go ahead and subscribe to your girl Angie. I'm doing Huntsville. I'm gonna be doing Bell Collective. I'm gonna be doing the Potomac Girls. Atlanta fell off, and I'm just gonna go ahead and state it so I will no longer be a liar. I'm probably not gonna pick up Atlanta, the reunion, or no more of the season. I'm over it. I listened to some of the reviews at work today about part 1 of the Atlanta reunion, and after listening to the reviews, I have no interest in watching it. I don't want to see So let's just pick up with Bravo with the Potomac Girls, and I'm gonna let Atlanta rest. I'm gonna quit lying, saying, "Oh, I'm about to catch it up." I ain't gonna catch it up. We're gonna let Atlanta rest. But thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested in Family or Fiance, just click this off and click it back on. I promise you, I'll be back in 10 seconds. Y'all have a good night. Bye.